Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Chayamudirayet. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I want to speak in English out of two reasons, of course. First reason, because that everyone understands, and also those who sometimes complain about English lectures. It's also good to learn. I was not speaking too well English before I came to the Hare Krishna movement, and I learned my English in ISKCON, and now my English is quite good. My English is now quite good for Austrian. Yes, I can also speak a little bit English now. Yes? Okay, I stayed in America for some time. This helped also, of course. I was forced. They made some fun out of my English at times, but now I think it's okay. So, and the other reason is because I had not too much time. I thought I will take some time off a morning program to prepare a little bit for this lecture, because this pastime of Krishna is really nice. So I wanted to absorb myself a bit, and when I started, I saw this is not enough time. This was way too short, because so many details are there in this pastime. So I thought I want to make a separate video for my YouTube channel where I put in pictures and make it very nice. So I want to use this now for my English-speaking audience, for the YouTube channel also, and then present the Leela in a separate video in lots of detail. It's very interesting. Okay. So we are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3. It's called the Status Quo, and we read chapter 6, Creation. No, not chapter 6, chapter 3. The Lord's pastimes out of Vrindavan. Yeah, it's also interesting for those who give lecture and to always mention also the chapter's name, and to give us some more understanding. So here, before we start, there's a dialogue between two who is discussing here, who is talking here? Who knows? Who is discussing here now in the Bhagavad? Because in Bhagavatam always someone speaks, right? It's always someone speaks. So who is speaking? Huh? Uddhava, okay. With whom is Uddhava speaking? Yes? Vidura, right, okay, good. Who is Uddhava? Who can say 2-3 words about Uddhava? Yes?
He's a cousin from Krishna.
Cousin of Krishna? Mm-hmm.
And he looks similar to Krishna, like Krishna. He has blue skin and devotee, and he is also very advanced.
Yeah, he's very advanced, special devotee. He's the most beloved devotee of Krishna outside of Vrindavan. He has the most intimate relationship. He has almost a relationship like the Rajavasis. Almost. Yeah, so he's very, very special. Okay, and who is Vidura? Yes?
He's the brother of Pandu and Dhritarashtra, and he was Yamaraj in his life before.
Yes, he was Yamaraj in his life before, and he cursed a Muni. What was his name? The sage? I forgot. Anyways, a lot other stuff. Now we should read. But yes, so Vidura, yeah, he's elderly, he's more older, and Uddhava is quite young, right? In comparison, Uddhava has the same age, as you said. He's the cousin of Krishna, so has the same age as Krishna. So, and Uddhava is talking now, explaining, remembering the pastimes of the Lord, and he's getting very absorbed. Actually, he's getting really in an ecstatic mood, and he summarizes the whole pastime of the Lord, because this is now the end of the pastimes of Krishna. Krishna left already, and Uddhava is also very emotional. And now in this chapter, in the second chapter, there were the pastimes in Vrindavan, and now in the third chapter, it's called the pastimes of outside of Vrindavan. What was Krishna doing after he left Vrindavan? And he did many amazing things. So, and one of these amazing things we hear today, verse number, what is it? 8 to 9. Okay. Good. So, which shloka is there? 8 or 9? 8. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. All those princesses were lodged in different apartments, and the Lord simultaneously assumed different bodily expansions, exactly matching each and every princess. He accepted their hands in perfect rituals by His internal potency. Before I continue reading, something came to my mind now. It said He accepted their hands, panin, it says hand. And isn't it that also in Western culture there is some expression? Die Hand, wie sagt man da auf Deutsch? Wie sagt man, Hand anvertrauen? So in der Heirat, der Hochzeit gibt es nicht so was Ähnliches? Man akzeptiert die Hand von... to accept the hand, something like this. So it's very interesting that we have the same expression in the ancient Sanskrit for marriage. And it's interesting to accept the hand. You know, why hand, why not the foot, or why not the head, or why not another act of what means then the marriage, right? Why not like a kiss or like a letter or whatever? So whatever, it could be so many other things, right? Accepting the hand. Interesting. I find this very interesting. It's kind of a ritual, a ritualistic thing. You accept the hand of someone, that means already, okay, that means now you're together, you will marry. So instead, He accepted their hands. So I don't know if it's always like this now, also when we use the saying that the male accepts the hand of the female. So he accepts her hand, and that means then she is his wife then, right? That's very interesting. Interesting saying. And also in the church, how is it? They come. Okay, normally the husband, proposed husband, is not done. Sometimes she comes and do you want to marry? Actually not. Sometimes there are some marriage bloopers. Shocking. So a man stands there waiting, and then the wife comes in. Right? Normally in the church is like this. Now this anyway, the wife comes in, and there's this song played. And normally, who is going next to the wife? The father. It's very interesting. They still have this, right? The father brings in the girl. And normally she is also covered. She's even covered. Right? Isn't it? And then when she's there, then she lifts this veil. And we do the same in the Vedic marriage. It's the same. Vivaha yagya, isn't it? The husband sits already there. I don't know all the details. I was not too conscious of it. But normally, right, the girl comes in and she is, but not by the father, normally with the other girls, and she's also covered. But father must be there also. And then the priest says, isn't it? He asks then the father, are you okay for, oh no, you have to be there, you have to give the hand to the husband. Same principles there. Yeah, I find this interesting. These cultural things, right? Cultural things. How they are still present. Yeah. Ancient. It's very ancient. This is very ancient. And it's very male-dominated, right? Isn't it? This is what they say now. Oh, this is so bad, right? The father brings the girl and gives the girl to the other man, right? This is a Vedic thing. But nowadays, they are so much against this. This is terrible. Right? This is so terrible. All these patriarchal things. Yeah? Interesting, right? Ancient culture. So here we see the same thing. Krishna is accepting the hands of all these princesses at the same time. Okay, purport. In the Brahma Samhita 5.33, the Lord is described as follows in regard to His innumerable plenary expansions. Advaitam achyuttam anadim anantarupam adyam purana purusham navayovanam cha videshu dulabam adulabam atma bhakto govindam adipurusham tamahang bhajami. The Lord, Govinda, whom I worship, is the original personality of Godhead. He is non-different from His innumerable plenary expansions, who are all infallible, original, and unlimited, and who have eternal forms. Although He is primeval, the oldest personality is always fresh and young. By His internal potency, the Lord can expand Himself into various personalities of Swayam Prakash and again into Prabhava and Vaibhava forms. And all of them are non-different from one another. The forms into which the Lord expanded to marry the princesses in different apartments were all slightly different, just to match each and every one of them. They are called Vaibhava Vilas, forms of the Lord, and are affected by his internal potency, Yoga Maya. Oui? No, that's okay. Good. So this was now text 9. Tas apatyanya channayat atma tulyani sarvataha ekaishyam dasha dasha parakrityar vibhubushaya. Just to expand himself according to his transcendental features, the Lord begot in each and every one of them 10 offspring with exactly his own qualities. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militamya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so much could be said here. One thing from the purport which is interesting, the Lord expanded himself into 16,000 forms, 108. In the Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, you have, one second, let me think. Yeah, you have a progression of the queens Krishna married. Yeah, first is Rukmini. The whole story is told about how he brought Rukmini from the kingdom of Vidarbha. The next queen is actually not Satyabhama, but Jambavati. In the story of the Shyamantaka jewel, he gets Jambavati as a wife, and he marries her first. He brings her there, and then slightly after this, Satyabhama. These are the principal queens. And then 5 more queens. There's one chapter which is called Krishna marries 5 more girls, and shortly the stories are explained. And then comes the story where he gets to 16,100. So he has 16,108 princesses. And here it said he expands himself for every one of them, but with slightly different features, matching every one of them. This is also interesting, to really be the perfect husband. This is what these stories communicate, actually, that Krishna is the perfect counterpart for every jiva. And whatever your love is towards the Lord, he will match it perfectly. And actually, if we are advanced, we have to be quite advanced. We will be so eager to have a relationship with Krishna that we are not interested in any other relationship in the material world. Nothing else will be satisfying if we really can put all our love in the Lord, which is not a small thing, but is possible. Good. So now I want to speak a little bit about the story. I think in last days we heard a bit, but I will fill it in with some details. So there was this great demon. What was his name? Narakasura, right. And he has another name. What is the other name? Famous name? Bhaumasura. Narakasura, Bhaumasura. Why Bhaumasura? Because Bhumi is the son of Mother Earth. And how was he the son of Mother Earth? Interesting, who is the father? Varahadev. This is very interesting. Varahadev was the father, meaning when Varaha lifted the earth out of the ocean, somehow or other they had also a child together. It's not explained how this happened, but somehow or other he gave Bhumi a child. So how can it be that this became a demon? It's said because of association with Banasura. He became an Asura. Yeah, somehow or other, this was a bad influence. And then, and this is a story told in a regional Purana, I forgot the name, so there are many Puranas with other details. At one point, he became so puffed up, and he wanted to marry. And he thought, who is the best woman? So who is the best woman? One of the best, like in top, it's pretty difficult then to decide who's best. But who could you think is best? Besides Srimati Radharani and Lakshmi Devi. Who is best? Huh? Huh? The wife of Indra, quite good, yes, but even better. Wife of Brahma, probably good. Saraswati is probably powerful, it's nice, yeah. But even better. Wife of Shiva. He wanted to marry wife of Shiva. He wanted to marry her. Yeah. Kamakya. And it said Kamyakya. He is also the founder of the kingdom of Prakjyotishpur. When we hear in this story, then Krishna, this name is also said in the Bhagavatam, that when, okay, this comes later, but when he goes, he flies from Dwarka to Rakshotishpur. And this kingdom is very ancient, and Narakasura founded this and is still there today in the region of Assam and Nepal. It was at one point in the beginning of our era, in 300 until 1000, or a little bit more even, there was an ancient kingdom in modern day Assam, Nepal. It went even to West Bengal, Bihar. It was quite big in this northern part of India. And the founder is this Narakasura, 3,000 years before, actually 4,000 years before this kingdom was there. So this is called Rakshotishpur or Kamarupa. Kamarupa, it was the ancient name of this kingdom, Kamarupa. And why Kamarupa? Because Kamadev got there again his body after Shiva burned him. Right? We know the story that once Shiva was in meditation, he was completely absorbed, and Sati came and wanted to, I don't know, want to have a child with him or something. She just wanted to wake him up, but she couldn't do that. And then Kamadev said, no problem, I'll help you. And Kamadev, what is Kamadev known for? What is he known for, Kamadev? He has a bow. Yeah, it's very interesting that in ancient Vedic texts, Kamadev, the god of love, yeah, we have him here also in the Greek mythology. It's called Amor, isn't it? It's Amor, and everyone knows Amor. What is he doing? He has arrows, and what is he doing with his arrows? He shoots the arrows in the hearts of the poor guy, poor girl, maybe also, yeah. And what is then happening with them? They are completely crazy. This is always like this. Amor makes people crazy, yeah? And crazy for each other, right? Crazy for each other. That's what he does. And it's we have to take it out again, huh? Some like it. Oh, yes, very good. More. Amor, please, shoot me more. When is Amor finally shooting me? Shoot me. Yes. So, Kamadev said, no problem. Kandarpa is another name. Kandarpa. Please, no problem, I will take care of this. I'm so powerful. He was quite puffed up. I'm so powerful. I can, shoot everyone and bewilder them with my power, and then Shiva will be all in love, will be all fired up for you. So he went there, and he aimed very nicely. Oh, okay, Shiva, very soon I will, I will get you. And then, and then he shoots. And Shiva sits in meditation and something pinches him. And he's like, what? He was not like, woo, he was like the opposite, huh? And he opens his eyes and he sees this, puffed up Kamadev, waiting like, very soon. But Shiva was like angry, and fire was blazing out of his eyes, and he burned Kamadev to ashes. Poor Kamadev, his attempt failed. And he was just a pile of ashes. So Shiva was not at all influenced by Kamadev. This is one of the points. Shiva Dev is not influenced by material lust. He's transcendental. Yeah. So, and then later Kamadev got his form again, and this was then in this kingdom in this northern region. Somehow it said there, this pile of ashes, somehow rather he took again a form. So who is the new Kamadev? Okay, then he got a new form. But actually, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, for us, this is an interesting part of the story, because who is celebrated as the new Kamadev? Yeah, Krishna. Krishna is the new Kamadev. It's always said, who is the new, Goswami said, the new Kamadev. And why is Krishna the new Kamadev? Even in our Gayatri mantra, we chant, what is it in the last line? Ananga. No? Ananga. What does it mean? Ananga, meaning having no limbs. Right? In this Gayatri mantra, Ananga means no limbs. Who has no limbs? Kamadev has no limbs, because he has no body, he's burnt. But whom do we mean with this? We mean Krishna. Why? Because it's the Kama Gayatri, isn't it? It's called Kama Gayatri. But Kama, we don't mean Kamadev, we mean Krishna. So why is Krishna suddenly Kamadev? Because he bewilders or attracts the Gopis. This is the point of our understanding. Because in our line we have this desire that we follow in the footsteps of the Gopis actually. And what is the relationship between Gopis and Krishna? It's Kama. spiritual karma. Yeah. So a very interesting connection. So yeah, this was the kingdom. So Narakasura, he wanted to marry Sati. Now, I don't know what her name was there. It was Kamyaka, actually called Kamyaka. And she was, because he was her devotee also. Yeah, it's not that just he was her devotee. And like Shiva, they also Sati is, she wants to help their devotees. Even when the devotee, and this is very interesting for Shiva and also his wife, that they have weird devotees. And they correspond to their weirdness. We know another weird demon, Asura, right? In the Bhagavatam, in the end of Bhagavatam, the story is told about Asura. What means Rika? Rika means wolf. Wolf Asura. But he was not a wolf, but I don't know, he was wolfish. And he was worshipping also Shiva, but how was he doing this? He was cutting out his flesh. And he had fire, and he offered in this fire himself or his body parts to Shiva. And then, what is it? Idang Shivaya, Idang Namama. Idang Shivaya, Idang Namama. And he was doing all that because he wanted to attract Shiva. And Shiva, interesting, is corresponding to that. But then Shiva was not coming. He was like cutting. Shiva was not coming. So, okay, I will offer my head now to Shiva to please him. He was taking his own head. He wanted to cut his head, and then Shiva appeared. Okay. It's okay. What do you want? And then this stupid guy, typically demons, they are not intelligent. But Shiva corresponds to it. Shiva means auspicious, very merciful. And what was this guy, what he wanted? I want to be so powerful that whose head I touch, the head will explode. That was what he wanted. If I touch someone's head, then his head will explode. And Shiva said, oh, whatever, tatas too. Have it. Huh? And he said, thank you. And then he was looking at Shiva. And she said, oh no. Shiva ran away. Anyway, this is done more details to the story. But the point is that Shiva has these weird disciples and also his wife. And so Narakasura, Bhaumasura, he wanted to marry her. And she said, okay, whatever you like, then have it, but one condition. Only if you can build a staircase from Nilachal Hill, which is not Nilachal in Puri, Nilachal Hill in Pragjyotishpur, and you can build from the down until the top of the hill, where there's I think there's a temple, and you can build in one night. In one night you can build stairs there. That was the condition. And he said, okay, I will do this. Huh? And he started, when the night came, he started building. And suddenly Sati heard that he's already quite close, he might make it. And she was like, panic, God, this cannot be. I cannot marry this guy, this is not possible. So, and the condition was that when the cock crows in the morning, when this will happen, then the night is over. He has only time until then. So Sati went to this bird, and she strangled him a bit, and he was. And then Narakasura heard, oh no, I couldn't make it. Oh, I was so close. Oh no, yeah. So these half-built stairs are still there in this area. So, and then when he came to, how was it then? Somehow, and later he understood that he was tricked by her, and then he killed this bird, poor bird, and then I forgot what happened. Anyway, but this temple, and now it gets a little bit gruesome, because this temple is still there. There's a temple in Guwahati or something, how is it called? It's in modern day Assam. It's in Assam, and there's a river, Brahmaputra river. It's quite a big river, Brahmaputra, and there is this town Guwahati or something is it called, and there close by is this Kamyaka temple. It's a very famous temple in India, especially in this region. It's called Kamakya temple. It's one of the Shakti Pitas. It said there are 52 Shakti Pitas. Shakti Pit means like a place of worship, and a place of Shakti. And it said there are 52 Shakti Pitas in all of India. There are 52 places. And why 52 places? Because it's now a little bit gruesome. When Daksha was so nasty to Sati, which is another wonderful long story, which we of course cannot tell. So of course Sati, what was she doing? She burned herself. And it said, not in the Bhagavatam, in some other Purana, it's mentioned that Shiva was so angry that he danced this Tandava Nritya, this dance of creational destruction, but he danced this with the dead body of Sati, and he danced so wild, and he was so, with burning body actually, and he was so enraged, and he said body parts of this dead Sati fell on the earth, and it fell on 52 places on the earth. These are the Shakti Pitas. And in all the places when you go there, there are temples now, and a certain body part of Sati is worshipped there. Yeah. And in this Kamakya temple in Assam, the vagina of Sati is worshipped. It's very interesting. So the vagina is a very interesting temple. And actually it has a, you can look online, it has a conical form like this. And it's like 500, 600 years old, the modern temple structure. But the ancient temple is thousands of years old. So this is a very, very ancient place. And we can see already in this combination, body parts, worshipping and this and that, and all this Shiva and Sati and Kali worship. It's quite, tamasic actually. It's quite tamasic. So, and once a year, there's a big festival, therefore Kamakya, it's in June. And there it's said, this is the menstruation, what's this called? Menstruationstag of Sati, yeah? And it's a huge festival. Thousands of people come. And what do Sati worshippers and Shiva worshippers do especially? They kill animals, and it's said thousands of animals are killed then. And this Brahmaputra river, which is flowing, that turns red. This is like a huge festival, thousands of people come. So it's an ancient cult and worship which is happening there, and it's quite, bloody, yeah. So, and many yogis go there, and Shakta worshippers and all this. This is their tradition. So, but who was there? Narakasura, he's from this region. He founded this kingdom. And then because he becomes so puffed up, he become very powerful, and he fought with Indra. He defeated all the demigods, and then he kidnapped 16,100 princesses, but not just princesses from earth, also from higher regions also. Demigod, princesses and all this, and he collected them all in his palace and kingdom. So then Indra himself went to Krishna and said, oh my dear Krishna, we have a huge problem, big problem. There's this demon in Pragjyotishpur, and he stole my mother's earrings, Aditi's earrings, and he stole Varuna's umbrella, and he stole I think it was Mandara mountain, of one mountain, the top of the mountain. Why? Because it was a playing ground, a sporting ground of the demigods, like celestial gardens and all this. It was not just like a hilltop, it was like a huge, wonderful place where the demigods were enjoying and like their sporting and playground. He thought, oh, this is nice. He took the whole thing. He was so powerful. Yeah. So Indra complained. He went to Dwarka and complained to Krishna, and Krishna said, no problem, I will do this. Now, either he went to Krishna or he spoke to Vishnu, and Vishnu said, I will do this as Krishna. I forgot how it was exactly. I think in Bhagavatam he went to Dwarka. So, and now Krishna says, okay, no problem, Indra, I will take care of this. And what is he doing? Krishna calls for Garuda. This is very interesting. Krishna flies on Garuda. Normally, who is riding on Garuda? Yes? Vishnu. Yeah, Vishnu is always coming. Always in the Bhagavatam, when Vishnu appears, like, I don't know if every time, but like in Dhruva's situation, isn't it? Dhruva, there's Garuda. With Kardama Muni, there's Garuda and Vishnu. When the demigods fight with the demons, Garuda and Vishnu, right? So that Krishna utilizes Garuda is very interesting. And he takes Satyabhama also along. And why Satyabhama? Because Satyabhama's expansion is Bhudevi. Bhudevi is expansion of Satyabhama, And so Krishna wants to have the blessings of Bhudevi in this way to kill the son of Bhudevi. Yeah. So he takes Satyabhama and they fly to Pragjyotishpur. And the other reason is, of course, because afterwards he knows he will go to the heavenly planets to get the Parichatta flower. So when Krishna arrives in this kingdom, and the capital Pura means city, right? Pragjyotisha is the kingdom, Pragjyotishpur is the capital. And it was very nicely protected. It was like invincible. And it said they had like walls and gates and water and weapons and all kinds of stuff was there. And Krishna destroyed all this, fortress, yeah, with his weapons. And it's even said, and interesting, in the Bhagavatam it said there are cables, mystical cables, which somehow protected also the city. So Krishna fought through all of this. And then there were also yantras which protected the soldiers. But it said yantra of the city. So for me it was not clear if this were yantra means also machine. Yantra means also seal. Mantra is a mystical seal. And how did Krishna destroy this? With his conch shell, with the sound of his conch shell. He destroyed this mystical yantras just by the sound. I found this also interesting. And then there was a water pit around the city, and there was a demon who was actually the general of the army of Narakasura, and his name was Mura, the Mura demon. And what was interesting about the Mura demon? Who knows? Who remembers? How was he looking? He had 5 heads. 5-headed demon. The general of the army had 5 heads. And when he heard the sound, something is going on, he came out of the water. I don't know why he was staying under the water somehow or other. He was not a monster, because sometimes I envision him like a monster, 5 heads under the water. But he is the general of the army, so he must be also quite, humanoid more than a monster. Anyway, he comes out and he fights with Krishna, a long battle, and then Krishna kills him. And then the 7 sons of the Mura demon also come, and Krishna kills them also. And this is the reason why Krishna is called, what's his name? Murari. Yeah, everyone knows the song, the name of Krishna, Murari. Ari means killer of Mura, the Mura demon. This is because of this story, because he killed this Mura demon, who must have been very, very, very powerful. And then Krishna, then comes the 7 sons, he kills them also, and then Bhaumasura himself comes and says, okay, I got all my powerful people there now, all got killed, and he comes himself with a huge army of 11 Akshauhinis. Akshauhini is it's a unit of a military unit, and I always forget it, but one Akshauhini has like 100,000 elephants and 300,000 foot soldiers and 100,000 horses, and it's like huge. One Akshauhini is like huge. So it had 11 Akshauhinis. And it said Krishna killed each and every soldier with 3 arrows. And it said he was not shooting 3 arrows at once. Not that he put 3. He would like 3. 3. And it said in the Bhagavatam, when Shukadev Goswami tells that, he's amazed. And there's some sayings like, Oh king, this was so amazing. And in reminiscence of the other archers on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, who are also powerful, but nothing like Krishna. Krishna alone killed 11 Akshauhinis. How many? The Kauravas had? How many? I think it was also 11, and I think there were 18 Akshauhinis, and the Pandavas had, I think, 7, and the Kauravas had 11, isn't it? Something like this, almost like that. So Krishna alone killed as many Akshauhinis as were there on the battlefield of Kurukshetra on the opposing side himself. And then when Shukadev Goswami speaks on this, Vishwanath Chakravarti in the commentary says he was like completely ecstatic in Krishna's supreme power killing this whole army. And as I said, each and every soldier he killed with 3 arrows. Yeah. And it's also said Narakasura came out with an army of elephants who were born from the milk ocean. And I think it was on this part, either this or later, because elephants come in 2 points in the story. It said they had 4 tusks. 4 tusks. You've heard about elephants with 4 tusks? Everyone has seen, at least in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's in the heavenly plants. Also Airavata, he has 4 tusks. There is actually an ancient elephant. It's called, I forgot the name. Gopoterium. I think it's called Gopoterium. You know this?
Something like this.
Huh?
Something like this.
Something like this, yeah? Gopoterium, I think is the name, which is an ancient elephant. They found like skeletons of this elephant, had 4 tusks. It's like an extinct, like dinosaur or something. It's not a dinosaur, of course, but like an extinct animal with 4 tusks. So something was there, even on this planet, some thousands of years ago. They said 5 million years ago it extinguished. Anyways, so it's interesting that Bhagavatam, again, has some link to an ancient past, right? So the elephants came out and said, these elephants, it's always said, powerful elephants, they are used for war. Mada is like a substance and it comes out of their forehead when they kind of sweat. And it's always said an elephant who has this mada means also madness, yeah? And they're very powerful. So an elephant who gets out this mada stuff is very powerful, very, good for war. And also, we know this also from Western history, that some people used elephants in war, right? Who is very famous for war elephants? Yeah? Alexander the Great also. No, not he, because he fought against elephants in India. He had not elephants in his army.
Something with the mountains.
There was one with the mountains, exactly. Huh? Huh? Not the Turks, no. From the other side, came from the other side, come from the west. I'm not expert in history, but sometimes I like to, a little communicate a little bit of general, but this is quite known. Nobody knows, really? No one?
Romans were,
Yeah?
but this was from Africa.
He came from Spain, actually. Spain, Africa. It was Hannibal.
Yeah.
Hannibal. He was from modern day Spain, and it was, what's the kingdom called? The Punische War. It's called the Punische Kriege, yeah? Punic War, yeah. And he came with an army of elephants to Rome. It was a huge distance to go from Spain and he crossed the Alps. And he said he lost so many elephants. But in the end, he made it. And this is this famous saying, Hannibal ante portas. Hannibal vor den Toren. Hannibal in front of the door. Hannibal ante portas. Oh, he's here. Because they had so long war against this kingdom. I think there were 3 wars, and once Hannibal came. Huh? I'm from Africa. Because Spain is close to Africa, and a part of the Africa belonged to this kingdom. This is very close. Between Spain and this Malaga there is very close. But anyway, to go from Spain to Rome with elephants across the Alps was quite, I don't know if it was so useful. I don't think he conquered Rome anyways. No, he didn't conquer Rome. It was just, they were anti-porters and they fought him and he went back home and I know what. It's like Charasanda. So the elephants were attacking, and who was fighting the elephants? Of course, Garuda with his wings. He was beating the elephants with his wings. And then Krishna had a long battle with Bhaumasura himself, and he used this weapon, and Krishna used this weapon. It goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he had a spear, a powerful spear. It's also called Vajra. Who has also a Vajra weapon? Indra's weapon, the thunderbolt is called Vajra. And he said Bhaumasura with his Vajra defeated Indra with this weapon. And at one point he took it and he threw it at Krishna. And Krishna just with the chakra, destroyed it. And then he took his trident. It was his less powerful weapon. He wanted to throw it at Krishna, but Krishna took the chakra, just cut off his head. And so this is how Bhaumasura died. And was lying there dead, and then who came? His mother, Bhumi Devi, the goddess of the earth. And she prayed, had very nice prayers to Krishna, and she excused her son and all this. And then she brought whom? She brought the son of Narakasura, whose name is Bhagadatta. And she said, "My dear Lord, now you appeared, you killed this great demon, and I knew this will happen, but here is my grandson, the son of him, and he's actually a great devotee, he's actually very nice. Please put your hand on his head, please bless him, that he has a long life, and he will be the next king of the city, and maybe you can, just give him your blessings." And Krishna did this, and he was then the next son of this kingdom, and he fought also in the battle of Kurukshetra, but actually against the Pandavas. And he was riding an elephant. Bhagadatta is known for riding elephants, so somehow they had something with the elephants. Elephants were a symbol of power and wealth in Vedic society, in Vedic civilization. So much so that the main city, what is the capital of Vedic civilization? What is the capital? Hastinapur. What does Hastinapur mean? The city of elephants. Hasti means elephant. Hasti. He's smiling all along. Yes, Hasti. Yes, Hasti means elephant. City of elephants. They had so many elephants and war elephants. So elephants were used. Elephants were also used. Where was this? I think I read recently Calcutta in Middle Ages and also under the British. Actually, Kaligat. Before Calcutta. Calcutta was actually founded more or less, not founded, but utilized by the English. This was their capital, and it's also where the East Indian Company came in, and when they traded, and later on England took over, and they made their capital in Calcutta. But the name Calcutta, now we say Kolkata, and in between we said Calcutta, it came from Kaligat. And in the English, because of trade, made it so big. Before it was only a small place. But why is it called Kaligat? Because this is also one of the Shakti Pitas, Kaligat, and one of the body parts of Kali fell there also, and there's also an ancient temple actually in Calcutta. So it was an ancient place of Kali and later became Kolkata. So and it said in the Middle Ages or under the British, Kolkata, who has been to Calcutta now knows it's like a terrible place, it's really, really bad. It's so dirty and overpolluted, millions of people, and it's crazy. But at that time, Calcutta, it said, was the pearl in the empire. The whole empire of England, which was spanning over the whole earth, right? They had parts of Europe, they had parts of Africa, they had parts of America, they had China, they had so much, right? But it said India was the most precious thing, but Calcutta was the pearl. Most beautiful city. Was most beautiful. And it said that they had so many elephants there, and they sprayed with their trunks the water around that the dust doesn't go up. Perfumed water. Elephants were used for perfumed water for spraying the city. It's like to clean the streets. Like nowadays also, when the garbage people come and they have this truck and there's so they had elephants like this with the trunk to clean the city. Okay, so then the Bhagadatta became the new king and later fought also against the Pandavas, and he died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Good, so this was the story. Something else I wanted to say? Yeah, this was more or less it. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yeah?
Concerning family responsibility, because you spoke about Narakasura and his mother. I was just thinking, what is our responsibility as devotees when our parents become sick and die?
Our parents become sick and die?
Or are old and die. To which degree are we responsible for taking care of them, maintaining them, spiritually uplifting them?
I think it's a personal choice. Depends on your relationship with your parents. Depends on your... I think everything is okay in one sense. It's a personal thing. If you feel I should be there, take care of my parents when they're old, somehow help them, connect them in this part somehow with Krishna, if I can do something for them, especially when they leave their body, play some bhajan or put some Ganges water or tulsi, what devotees sometimes do, definitely good. Yeah. But if somehow or other you are having very important service and this and that and you cannot go, who knows what's the situation? It's also not 100% necessary. I know of a situation where Prabhupada told a disciple that you don't have to go. Right? So, but this is also not absolute. It's not that, okay, we should never, we always chant, we do service and we... No, it's quite personal, I would say, and individual. I think everything is good in one sense, as long as we do it for Krishna. But yeah, if we can give our parents this mercy in their last moments and somehow take care, if we can do that, if we want and can, it's definitely very good for them. And after all, these are our parents who we are indebted to. Yeah, of course, Bhagavatam says we are not indebted to anyone if you surrender fully. Sharanam Sharanyam, Mukunda, the verse, no? But it said Sharanam Sharanyam, meaning like fully surrendered. If you're full surrender to Krishna, you are not indebted to anyone. No one. Not Pitris, no Devas, no king, no one, yeah, no parents. So this is another story. But if we can help them and feel some obligation, yeah, it's not Maya, I think. Yes?
Can you tell that story?
No, it was just that one devotee came to Prabhupada and said, my father's dying, should I go there? And she said, no, don't have to, just do your service. This helps him in the same way. Yeah, this we know also. We know that all spiritual advancement we make, our parents get a share. Our parents get a share. Everyone connected to us, especially family members, get a share. Even they are not devotees. There's a situation, of course, a long story, but in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu says that the family members of my devotees, I consider, I don't know what he says, my devotees, or I will always give them mercy or something. It's in a connection with the story of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's son-in-law. What was his name? Amoga. Who was a rascal. But Mahaprabhu went to him when he was almost dying and healing him. And then I think in this connection was Mahaprabhu saying, because everyone was wondering, why are you doing this? He's a rascal. So, no, he's the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is my greatest devotee, and his son-in-law is connected, so I will give him mercy. So when we are, the more we make advancement, our parents get blessings, definitely. Yeah? Okay.
But in this connection, this son of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, it was not like this, that after he told that it is his destiny to leave the body, or this is not?
I don't know details. I can't remember.
I just
You know details?
just wanted to ask, in the lotus feet of Krishna, no imprints, there is as I remember, the stick for controlling elephants.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask, you talked a lot about elephants, so why the stick is in the lotus?
I don't know actually. This is one of the topics, of the many topics. I never went too much into it, but one point I want to, what are the signs on Krishna's feet and all this is, because it's recommended to meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna and Radharani, and they are nicely described, so maybe there are more informations by the acharyas.
The spiritual master says that stick, maybe of course there are other meanings, there must be other meanings also, but it says the stick is meant to control the elephant of the mind. The mind is like an elephant, it's so huge and whatever qualities it has. And by meditating on Krishna's lotus feet like that, we can control the mind.
Yeah.
And Krishna controls the mind.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Lochan?
I was wondering, thousand wives, when they achieved like the perfection because they were married to Krishna and they was a level, when they saw Krishna, they were eager, or like how were they before?
I don't know.
In the time of imprisonment, were they like?
Yeah. I actually don't know if they were devotees before or what was their if they're eternal, associates, and somehow how this technically works. But in one point, is that everyone who surrenders to Krishna will be accepted no matter what, and Krishna corresponds to our mood. And it took in the form, what every one of them liked the most somehow or other. It said that they all looked a little bit different, with different appearance. Yeah, so it's very important. You have a question?
Yes.
Yes, please.
About the degrees of Raka, Rukmini is explained of chapter
Chandravali.
Chandravali, and Radharani is said to Rama, and who is Chandravali?
I don't know.
Mm.
Do you know?
Did you not give a lecture that she had these two Radha Krishna deities?
Shambhavati?
Yeah. Was that your anytime?
Yeah. She's one. No, I forgot the other. If she's Lalita or Vishaka.
I remember she's Lalita.
Huh?
Lalita.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice, huh? Lalita, Shambhavati. Yeah, I don't know. Is there also some Shastra beside Rupa Goswami who speaks on this?
As explained in Shiva, and also this question from Lochan is explained in the book of Shiva and Swami, Krishna Sangati.
Okay. But other Shastra which explain who is expansion, Gopis and queens, besides Rupa Goswami?
Well, this is Krishna Ganodesha. Who wrote this?
Yeah, Rupa Goswami.
Rupa Goswami.
In Krishna Ganodesha Deepika, this is also inside, huh? Okay, yeah, but I wondered if it's beside Rupa Goswami. Okay. Yeah, so in the end, I want to just say that Krishna Lila is most attractive, and we should use this medium to become Krishna conscious, especially as pastimes of the Lord. Should be very absorbed and very eager, and through this, Prabhupada says, we develop love for Krishna. Just hearing about Krishna's wonderful pastimes. Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Brahmanande. Srila Prabhupada ki.